About taboos. Whether man is worried or calm is defined by his self-organization. Taboos that man sets for himself are of different nature. They are the basis of inner self-organization. When a taboo is aimed at complying with certain rules of behavior in society, it is like being bound by chains, especially when these rules are largely unnatural. For example, you cannot object to a boss who has humiliated you because he decides whether you keep your job or lose it. There is another example. If you pay for something, it is fair because it is something that human efforts and money has been spent on. And money is the conventional equivalent of energy spent in the world of Satan. That is why taboos which define the nature of human relations in society are quite diverse. They cause either peace or anxiety in souls. It depends on certain features of the souls. Those who meekly allow a boss to degrade them are poor creatures. They accept such abusive rules of the game. It cannot be allowed. But resistance is fraught with sad consequences for such slaves. They will be fired. And this is a disaster for them. People do not realize that this is liberation by oppression. They are miserable and stupid creatures. The taboo they set for themselves cuts off their way to the light. Other people accept peacefully and naturally the taboos regarded in the community as correct ones, because these taboos are compliant with people's own views and with their inner worlds. Just the opposite can be said about people who do not comply with any rules at all. Their presence in the human community is dangerous. These people should live apart from the rest, but that is where the problem is. They live among other people and find satisfaction in sporting their unbridled natures there. A taboo is a thing that is absolutely necessary for society, but you need to understand how it complies with the feeling of freedom that is extremely important to man. At the same time, you need to be able to forbid yourself for the sake of experiencing that feeling of freedom. How is that related to each other? The formula is simple. No matter how strange it looks, more restrictions produce more freedom. And this is not a paradox if the taboos are meant to establish light in the world. That is what should be the goal of any taboo, that they will not seem to be painful and unnatural for the soul. Of course, we are talking primarily about self-restraint. For example, you are a hunter, but realizing that unnecessary killing incurs low vibrations of innocent victims and diminishes the light inside you, you give up hunting. Taboos are established by the light. You will get more freedom if you get rid of the desire to kill. You will eliminate the moments tied to bad desires. You must understand what real freedom is. It is not to do whatever you want. It is the deliverance of a soul from the low vibrations that are the temptations of Satan for the purpose of making you less valued, turbid, making you part of darkness. The release of the soul from the bondage of Satan is your true liberty. Having realized that, you have to set taboos for yourself. They will be the foundation of your freedom. And do not be scared that it will not be easy at the beginning to get rid of your old habits or sins. You will need to adapt to a new feeling that might be a kind of discomfort. Satan does not let you go easily, but pretty soon you will feel relieved and perplexed by realizing how you could be in his claws and still enjoy that. You would get freedom from what prevents you from being a person who can radiate light, because the more restrictions evil imposes, the more genuine your freedom is. It is a simple formula, is it not? But it is not so easy to accommodate it, because you live in a world where the truth is not clearly visible. Do not confuse one thing with another. Natural joys shall remain, and the more of them the better. The question is to determine the standards of their naturalness. Let the main criterion for that just be if your personal happiness brings more light to the world, or if it brings suffering to someone. Of course, some people might not experience happiness in other people's joy, and might feel good when you suffer. But the Lord needs your joy, so forgive people that envy you. The ability of experiencing happiness in other people's joy is a quality of a light-bearing soul. There is no real inner freedom without this quality. If it is missing, then there is no inner freedom for that kind of soul at all. That means that man is unable to set taboos for himself, and it has made him unhappy.